we have our last program of the day. To lead us through this, I'm welcome to the stage Fred Schmidt from Capital Factory, involved here on the board, investor, and many other titles. So please come back to your seat and take a moment to welcome with me Fred Schmidt from Capital Factory. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Is this on? Hi there. Welcome. I hope you are all still surviving South by Southwest. We're in, I think, day 4. This is my 28th South by Southwest, and I'm only 30 years old. So I always like to give tips to people when they're at South by Southwest. Like the main one that I usually give doesn't matter anymore because we're already in day 4, which is this is a marathon, not a sprint. So don't kill yourself. Don't stay out drinking and partying all night. Pay attention, be present in the moment, and really get to know the people in the room with you, in line at Starbucks with you, walking down the street with you, because everybody is here for the same reason. They're in the tech and creative industries. And, I don't know how many of you are staying beyond interactive, but this continues on with music and with film till the end of the week. And this is, South by has been going for, next year will be 40 years of South by Southwest. And it all started with music, and then it became, film was added, and then interactive was the last to join when it was called multimedia, which gives you some idea of how long ago interactive started. The first 5 years it was multimedia. So my name is Fred Schmidt. Welcome to Capital Factory. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my story because it's relevant to the group that is here from Ukraine. I'm originally from Poland. I was born in Poland in a small village between Poznan and Bydgoszcz. And I came here as a political refugee with my mother as a child via Canada, and we were granted political asylum. My grandfather was a famous Polish scientist who found great, he never finished high school. His father threw him out of the house in Ksenia because he was blowing up the house with experiments all the time. And he left on a train at a very young age and went to Berlin and became successful in Germany. He was an inventor. He invented a whole bunch of things, but the thing he is most famous for is he invented the process of growing single crystals. And that process, much later after his life ended, became sort of a foundational process in the creation of the electronics industry, and later even how to create silicon. So he is now sort of, people like Intel and Samsung and all these guys who are in that business don't yet fully recognize him. But if you talk to scientists there, they go, oh my God, he's badass. Okay, so he created this process. He found fame and fortune in Germany before the war. He had an opportunity to come to the United States to become head of research for Ford Motor Company. He came, visited with Henry Ford. Henry Ford offered him the job. He went back to Germany, and at the same time, the president of Poland at that time called him up and said, Jan Jachralski, that's his name, please come to Poland. We'd like you to head up science for the country of Poland. So he had this decision he had to make. I want to go to America and make more money, become even more famous, or do I want to go back and help my country? And the decision he made was to go to Poland. He didn't need any, they had houses, they had servants, they had cars, he was rolling in the good stuff. But he went back to serve his country and help his country. Well, a few years later, dear Ukrainian friends, the war came, okay? And so he was caught between the Germans, the Soviets, the Poles, and when he came back to head science for Poland, all the scientists really didn't like him because they all had PhDs and he didn't, and he was their boss. So the way you became like the boss of science was you had to have a PhD. I mean, he was like a high school dropout. And so they resented him and they worked against him. So he was caught in this awful situation during the war. Basically, like so many other people during the war, he lost everything. He, at the end of the war, got basically ostracized out of Warsaw back to our little town, Ksinia. And he died in 1953, a couple of years before I was born, in complete obscurity, okay? Nobody, his record, his life was basically expunged, as the Soviets are so good at doing, from all the records. And so fast forward about 60 years, there was a professor at the University of Wrocław who has a laboratory and in the same field, in metallurgy. And he started doing research, and my grandfather's name kept coming up, like, who is this guy? And he started finding all kinds of files and archives in various Polish libraries. And he is, this one professor, Paweł Tomaszewski, is the person who single-handedly recreated my grandfather's record, his whole contributions to science, lobbied the Polish educational and governmental communities to recognize his work. And they finally decided, wow, he did some important stuff. He's a pretty good guy. And so in 2013, not that long ago, about 10 years ago, it was declared in Poland, that was the year of Jan Czochralski. They put his picture on postage stamps, on Polish money. They've built statues to him. And he is now, arguably, celebrated as the third most important Polish scientist after Copernicus and Madame Curie, is Jan Czochralski. So if you ever want to read about him, you know, for those of you who are Eastern European, you know how to spell Czochralski or could at least give it a shot. But for everybody else who's Western, all you have to do is just Google Jan, Jan, and CZ, CZ. And that will bring up, when I last looked here, about 180,000 Google entries in terms of his life, his work, and everything else. And so we're now working on a feature film about his life and hope to roll that out at some point. So that's the backstory. That's what I was born into, you know. So my mother and I, after he passed away, we left, emigrated to the U.S., joined like everybody else does when you leave. You go to where your family is, where your people are, to the Polish community, which was in Detroit, in Hamtramck. And so I grew up in Detroit, and I grew up, my stepfather died when I was 14 years old. I became head of household, taught myself to drive, lied about my age, had to start working because I had a younger brother and sister. And so through high school and college, I worked my way through those years working in factories, okay, like everybody else does as an immigrant. And I almost lost both of my hands in an accident in the factories. And so I punched out of the time clock and said, I have a brain. I'm going to go use my brain and do something else. And so I ended up getting a job in radio. You might see I have a voice that might sound like it's on radio. So I got a job in radio that led to a career in television, cable satellite programming, and eventually I ended up in computer games. So video games has been my primary technology career for 30 years. I've built multiple companies and sold them and exited them with great teams. You may have heard of Civilization. A guy named Sid Meier was my first, I shouldn't say he was my first partner. I was his partner. He was the creative genius and the brilliant programmer that created MicroProse software, which we took public. Then I went and joined another brilliant designer named Richard Garriott, who created the Ultima series of fantasy role-play games. We had a company called Origin Systems that we sold to Electronic Arts. And we went on to create several other game companies together. So once we did all that, I decided to do something entrepreneurial. So I started some retail businesses with my wife, sitting over here, Shelly. So we own retail businesses around Austin in music, in fashion, in toys, and in confectionery. They're all, it's called Wild About Music, Austin Rocks, Toy Joy, and Yummy Joy. And so you'll see Toy Joy when you leave the country. You'll be going, depending on which kind of flights you're taking, but if you take like the BA flight direct to London and stuff, you'll be going past gate 12, and we have a Toy Joy at the airport at gate 12. So that's kind of the retail side of my life with my wife. And then I got involved here at Capital Factory, where I've been involved for about 10 years now. I'm a partner, investor, on the advisory board here, and for 7 years before the pandemic, I led international affairs for Capital Factory. So I traveled all over the world, worked with people all over the world, and lots of startups to come into this country to provide a soft landing for them and help our startups as they grow to learn about the world and to figure out how to scale beyond the United States. You know, most Americans don't have a passport, unlike everybody in Europe and the rest of the world. They've never leave, but they need to. If you're going to scale and you're going to take outside investment, those investors expect you to know about how to grow across the world. So anyway, so that's kind of the complicated story. My colleague, partner, Ali Syed, who's sitting over here, in case you have any questions for me. There's only one of me, but so Ali was kind enough to come here too. Ali is a long time in technology and has been my right-hand person in all the international work that I've done. So feel free to hit Ali up as well. All right, so that's enough about all that stuff. Let's get on to the pitches. Not fortunately, last year, how many companies did we have last year? 10, okay. So I don't know if this is a testament to how hard it is, how much harder it is now to get out of Ukraine, get the permissions you need to travel and so forth. But I mean, as I'm walking in, I'm getting updates that, well, this person still can't come, this person's stuck somewhere, lots of travel and, hardship and logistics that others have shared with you. So those stories are real. So this year we're down to 4, okay? So it's not gonna be a long event. So we've got 4 wonderful companies that are going to tell you about what they do. 3 of them are actually going to be here and pitch. The 4th one couldn't be here because he's stuck in some airport somewhere. So we're going to show a video of his work. So with that, what's that? What? Ready to go? Okay, so we're going to start with, I hope we got the order right, Cloud, right? We're going to do Cloud Avocado.
Yep.
Best name ever, made me hungry just reading about you guys. So Cloud Avocado is a tool that provides cloud cost management on the AWS platform to cut your cost up to 70%. And I take it you are Andrei?
Yep.
Prishik.
Yep. Perfect.
Welcome.
Thanks.
My pleasure.
Hello, everyone. As already mentioned, my name is Andrei. I am CEO and founder at Cloud Avocado. So I'm working with AWS for more than 10 years. And during the time, I worked with more than 20 different companies. And all the time, I've faced the same issue everywhere. Cloud cost is always growing. And no one knows when, why, and how to cut it. And all business owners always had the main question. Our numbers, is it good or bad? Like 10K a month or 1 million a month? How well are we? And all cloud reports missing the most important answer, like how efficiently actually our money spent. And besides that, cloud is responsible for more than 1% of all CO2 emission in the world. So this is like 50% of all aviation industry. No one even think about it. So we had a lot of sessions with different clients, different companies, and ask them, why are you not using any third-party tools or any native tools from AWS to cut the cost? And answer was pretty interesting. It was too complex to use them. You need to learn a lot of stuff. You need to deep dive, too deep, and they want to have only one answer, the cloud cost efficiency. So we decided to take out all data we have from our product and focus only on the main pain points. We show the simple metrics, as efficiency of your cloud. As well, we provide simple use of cloud scheduling for development environment. Because even right now, like everyone here, you're sitting, probably you drove here, but you park your car and you're not using your car at the moment. Why your dev environment is still running 24/7, even on weekends? Like no one working 24/7. And as well, we show almost in real time CO2 impact of your all cloud resources. So currently we support only AWS, but we are going to add Azure and GCP soon. And competitive analysis, of course, we are not only one in the market. So there is a main competitor from AWS native tools, but they are typically too narrow, so we need to focus only on one tiny area. And there's other competition which works with reselling reservations for AWS, but it's only about money. They didn't care about actual usage, and still selling reservations is not helping, and it's not helping with CO2 at all. So a bit about our team. Like Andrei, it's me. I am founder of here, and as well, I'm guest speaker at Harvard University about big data. So Kelvin, he is my co-founder and CTO, and originally he is from Austin, but he moved to Ukraine 5 years ago, but he lives in Ukraine right now. Alexander Tolochko, he's our chief architect with more decades in development. And Sasha Remin, he's our advisor, is a successful entrepreneur with a successful exit, and author of the book Startup Kitchen. And besides having a product and having a nice team, we also have some customers. So I will share you some data about our customers without their names here because it's like financial data. So for one of them, we saved more than 115K over the last 6 months. And it was like 9x ROI. Besides that, we saved 1.5 tons of CO2 due to shutting down their dev machines. And this is equivalent of almost 230 trees growing for 1 year. Like another one was able to save 230K in 1 month. And they have way more, but they're way smaller. So what we're looking for? We're looking for clients who want to save their AWS cost, and we're looking for service companies as the partners who want to upsell their DevOps services to their clients who use AWS. So thanks for attention. Any questions? Yep.
What's kind of the minimum, for your customer profile, what's the minimum budget size, right? Because someone that's spending like $1,000 on AWS. What do you see where it creates the,
There is no minimum, because even if a small customer is paying even $100 on AWS, and we save you $10 a month, it's still better than nothing, And for startups, we're not charging anything. Up to 15 resources per month, it's free forever. So, any other questions?
So I might have missed it, but so where do you profit? If the customer is saving money from what they would have paid AWS, does AWS pay you, or the customer pay you, or some third party?
Actually, we have monthly subscriptions for our customers. It's based on the amount of resources you have in Cloud Avocado. It's for simple subscription, and for advanced users, we have single sign-on, custom reporting, etc.
And how much is the subscription?
From $0 is for startups, and then $50, $200, and going up.
Depending on company size?
Yep. So.
Anybody else? Any questions? Going once, going twice.
Yeah, and actually, one more small update. We have 2 weeks free trials. We're not asking credit cards. So you can check your cloud account for free in 5 minutes. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool service. I think you can just give that to the next person. I don't touch clickers. We're not friendly together. They never work for me. Okay. I should have mentioned one other thing, that we are also privileged as Capital Factory to have several Ukrainian companies in our portfolio and in our ecosystem here. So we have a couple of representatives. Those of you who are part of Capital Factory, why don't you just raise your hand? Nazar, come on. Yep. So just wanted you to know that, we take Ukraine and its issues very seriously. We are privileged to have these companies with us and to do what we can to help all of you in that ecosystem. Yeah, Nazar's floating hearts out here. So we love you too. All right, with that, the next presenter is, the company is A Players, which is kind of cool. I mean, I was reading about what they do. It's a mission-driven human resources platform to connect employees who want to work for startups and companies that want to change the world for the better. So since the pandemic, this has become a more and more mission-driven world. Young people don't want to work for just, profiteering kinds of big corporations. And so these folks have created a platform where employees and employers can find each other around social innovation. So with that, I introduce you to Lesya Arnold. Welcome. My pleasure. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to share this one.
Hi, everyone. Very happy to be here. So yeah, I'm Lesya. I'm the founder, I'm community builder, and I'm a mom. At A Players, we have a mission to change the world's current culture, money-driven culture, to impact-first culture. We help impact-driven companies get top talent and get them amazing business assistants. We've built a community of impact-driven founders and investors. It's currently 400 people. We discovered that early-stage startups and investors have a lot of common needs and pain points. So they need assistance with sales and marketing, fundraising, finance, and people operations. We realized that we can give them a solution, subscription-based business assistants who are dedicated in working with them. Our service includes recruiting, training, or checking their skills, matching, and managing those assistants. We offer quite a few unique things through our service. I mean, first of all, A Players has a lot of expertise in identifying people with A Players qualities. We've done recruiting for, as a company, A Players company, for 5 years, but I've been in recruiting since I was 17 in tech recruiting, but somewhat since I was 12. So all my life, very much focused on recruiting. We have amazing partnerships with top universities. We have access to amazing talent at cost-efficient markets, which is also very important. And we have all those common knowledge from our clients that we can teach our assistants to do amazing job. Another, last not least thing, all of our assistants are Ukrainians. And this is, thank you. This is our side mission, to give the best jobs, the best opportunities to Ukrainian people. We've hired talent for amazing companies like Grammarly and Deus Robotics, who you've heard today, and Unstoppable Domains. So a lot of companies that are well-developed, but also many, many early-stage startups. Our experience in recruiting is proven by our success rate. We have 99% success rate, meaning that people that we hire pass trial period and stay in companies for a very long time, and most of them get promoted. Thank you. Thank you. This is our amazing team of A Players. Everyone is very focused on delivering the best service. We have very happy clients. Our clients are companies that are growing, usually seed stage, Series A stage, companies that scale their businesses through of our assistance. So a lot of clients have already more than one business assistant who help them with various functions. So people help them with lead generation, marketing assistance, like doing their social media, helping them with fundraising, with finance. So it's a great way for a company that doesn't have budget for many different roles to have one amazing person who is very talented do many things. So one of our clients is New Homes Made, who you also heard Dan today, and Sophie is in the room. And we have great success with all these companies. What we got so far, so this line of business, we've had just been running for 6 months, and we bootstrapped it to 300K ARR. We have now 16 assistants who are meshed with our clients and 22 people in the team. We plan to grow into 1 million ARR by the end of this year, into 50 clients and 70 assistants. And our longer-term vision is to become a billion-dollar company and have 500 assistants. And another very important thing for us is to revolutionize how impact-driven early-stage startups grow. So help them scale in a more efficient way and become more successful than companies that are just money-driven. What we're looking for is, we're not fundraising, we're bootstrapped, but we're looking for partnerships. We're looking to hire amazing people to our team, and we're looking for amazing clients who need great assistance. Thank you very much. Thank you. Great question. So again, we have a lot of partnerships already. We have a lot of demand from our clients. A lot of clients who we currently have hire quite a few of our assistants, 2, 3. We have a client who came for the fourth one. And so we basically are a marketplace for talent and businesses that need those assistants. So we have a lot of demand from the clients, and we figured how to grow in our supplying part really well, because we have partnerships with universities and other amazing organizations that attract top talent. And so we know how to grow that very much as well. So we have also interest from other companies, other organizations like accelerators to partner and do white label with us. That's another way that we potentially can expand. Numbers what exactly? Yeah, so this year we plan to go to 1 million. So we currently are at 300, and the projection is basically based on that. Another question? No? More questions?
Yeah, how do you currently market? Is it word of mouth that you acquire your new customers, or other ways that you market and make it known that you guys are around and bring such an amazing talent with your assistants?
Thank you for the question. So we have partnerships with VCs. We have a lot of referrals from our happy clients. We make sure we're at all the best events, in all the best communities. And as I mentioned, we also grow our community of impact-driven founders and investors, and they hear about us. They click with our mission. They see our expertise in hiring people, and we get a lot of demand from that. Thank you.
I don't need the clicker. The founders that are presenting, they're going to hang around here for a bit, so you don't have to ask all your questions like right now, because the organizers are trying to keep the program moving to get to whatever's next. What I liked about your presentation, Alessia, is 2 things. She's bootstrapped. It's rare you get a founder up here on this stage, and I've heard probably 1,000 pitches that say, we don't want any investment. We're bootstrapped. I love that. That's the best kind of revenue you can get, is right from your customers. And I also love your happy customer slide. It was all women. All women companies, women, run companies. I don't know if that's just because women care more and are more social impact. Oh, they were, well, but that's just I just love that the whole thing it's all about women, no white guys. Yeah. I'm trying to get white guys to take the next 1,000 years off and go play golf and let women and other people in the world run the world for a while. We've had our chance, okay? All right, moving on to the next company. This is a company, it's called Drawer AI. All I can glean on them is they are AI for PDF drawings to increase your productivity in construction. There's a cool field. But the AI is training real hard right now to be super accurate, and it's still in stealth mode. So I don't know anything else about them. I was going to put the company into GPT and just have it make up something about who they are and what they do. But rather than that, why don't we hear from the founder, Den Lavrick, and he can tell us something more.
Thank you very much. I think, can you guys hear me? All right, those who are visiting, welcome to Austin. I've been here a year and a half, so I feel authorized to welcome you. You've seen construction around on the outside, right? And amazing how many tower cranes are here, amazing how much improvement happening to our cities. But there's a thing, and probably raise your hand if you have done construction or had renovation in your house where you live in an apartment. How many people have done that? All righty, almost everyone. Now the question is, how many of you thought that that was too expensive or that is ridiculous of how much it cost? Alrighty, more than half. Now let me tell you statistics. Construction here that you see outside has a waste of approximately 40%. Where it goes towards inefficiencies, it goes towards waste time or efforts that never came true or changes that happened here. And when I was in the construction industry for 15 years, I realized that the industry is very much outdated. It is ran by PDF drawings, and in the best case scenario, it's on a computer. In the typical construction, even here in Austin, you go out there and take a look. There's a huge company that are printing those drawings for you. It's a big rolls of paper, usually heavy, 50, 60 pounds papers that I've used to carry myself, and industry is completely outdated. Fundamental technology that we did is AI ability to read the PDF drawings, extract data from it, and generate product. Our first product is an electrical estimating solution. As of today, for example, our biggest client is one of the companies doing electrical work, has 120 estimators sitting in offices, and all they do all day long is just counting fixtures, devices. 120 people, paid approximately $150,000 to $200,000 a year. Completely inefficient process of manual approach. And yet, even when they win the bid, they get the job, they're number one, they're not celebrating. They're probably scared that they were the lowest, or probably gonna lose the money. It is extremely dangerous to do your bids and be awarded a job because you might lose the whole company on it. So our automation helps these companies develop the process that automates this. They're submitting more bids and win more projects. We've been developing it for 3 years. Before the ChatGPT buzz, we used to call it computer vision technology. Now it's fun to call it AI. We received the fundraising, so we've been bootstrapped, by the way. Went all the way first 2 years on a bootstrapping here in Austin. And thank you. We are in stealth mode. We do have clients. We do have product. We have closed our seed stage, raised $5 million from, thank you. Raised it from Silicon Valley Venture Capital. I haven't announced it yet. It will come later once we have the public product, and we wanted to make it the big splash, so coming up this summer. The next thing I would want to say is that the generation of this takeoff is related to a 3D model, is related to the materials you're going to have, and one of the things that we see is a standardization. Every building we build today is uniquely and custom, and every time we build it, it's like building a prototype. Building prototypes is really expensive. You see how Tesla superseded. They have 3 models. Barely 4th model is just came out. So if you standardize that, you're going to have a much better outcome. Luckily, construction industry has a standardization. It is the people that move from one company to another. We consolidated that effort, and now the AI is trained and using this simplicity is delivering a product. Simple example is it takes weeks to do an estimate on one project that you do, and you might never win it. You probably win in 1 out of 10. Our product is improving that and get a product done, the estimate done in 1 day. I was also asked to be really quick with my presentation. Sorry. We have just started with estimating approach, and our next product is going to be for the field as well as for the design. Streamlining this process will change the construction industry and improve, and I hope to tackle that 40% down to where no one's going to say that was ridiculously expensive. Our team is from Ukraine, all 3 co-founders. We have met during the struggle of this industry and have united around the idea that there's an automation that is really behind that the industry is looking for. We are not fundraising yet. We have a lot of ways to go. But if you're interested in partnerships, if you are looking for a job, we're looking for reinforced learning, front end, back end, all of the positions are open. Please come see me. We'll talk about this. Thank you very much. Any questions, or I should wrap up?
In fairness, give them a question or
All
two.
right.
Are you still in stealth mode, or are we past that?
Technically, we're in still mode, but we have clients. So 6 clients that we have, they're using product, so they're trying it out. But we're just not going public because there's too much interest. I'll be honest. Every time you come up, people already want AI. I want AI to do my job, you know. But it's still in development. So thank you. Yes. Yes, sir.
Quality control, like when you're exporting analog to digital, is there a way to make sure there was no mistakes, no safety issues, etc.?
Yeah, so there is actually tools that we develop, and they're all different. We use some of them just for the human being, as your eyes can pick it. You know how you can find 10 differences, you know, in these pictures. We use even the same technology on saying, hey, we have detected all these devices. Just glance through them. Do you see anything that pops out to you? So there is tools that you build and develop to visualize where by human you can verify that I was accurate.
So human reviewers actually work with the export data.
Absolutely, yeah. You could do that. It's not necessary, but that's something that you have to. Every estimator immediately measures every dimension because if their scale was off, you know, they're going to be screwed up. So the trust is a big deal in this process.
Cool. Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Good stuff. Again, I wish we were able to have, you know, another 10, 15 wonderful Ukrainian companies with us today. Maybe next year. Hopefully things will turn around and we'll have more. But a big round of applause, please, for all 3 of the companies that have presented. We were going to show you a video of the 4th company, but, you know, that one dropped while we were live in session here. We have a problem with the video, so we're not going to show you that one either. So I'm going to just now turn it back over to Garrett to close out the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Yeah, that closes the event. So once again, wanted to thank everyone who participated, all of the startups, all of the panelists, all of the moderators. A big round of applause for all of them. Thank you again. Thank you. Also, a special thank you to all the partners who helped us power Ukrainian House, powered by MacPaw, Tech Burrow. Thank you so much for that. Capital Factory, thank you for hosting us and allowing us to do it here. Thank you to the entire MacPaw team. They've been working tirelessly around the clock for the last, well, since I started at MacPaw, they've been working tirelessly across the clock to do it. So thank you, everyone. Listen, we have actually our happy hour. If you are still awake and up and at 'em, it's going to start around 6. So we are going to ask everyone who does want to stay for the happy hour to exit the room out the front doors there, because we have to, you know, move the room. But there will be cocktails, there will be food, so please do come back. Thank you once again. This has been Ukrainian House, powered by MacPaw. Thank you.